Kammy, My Unbelievable Life by Chris Kamara. Read by Tony Marshall. With an introduction read by the author.
Introduction. There were times when I'd wonder where he'd gone. Kammy, that is. You know Kammy, always there with a quick quip, happy grin, making Jeff Stelling laugh, wince or weep on soccer Saturday. You must know Kammy. Unbelievable, Jeff, and all that. I used to know Kammy too, but then he disappeared. I've spent the past 3 years trying to find him again. Don't get me wrong, there is a Kammy out there, but recently he hasn't felt like the real one. He's felt like an embarrassment, a fraud. He's been slowed down like someone's put an old 45 on the record player and then realized they're listening to it at 33. At the same time, words have become muddled or even sometimes totally impossible to say. When he woke up, the first thing Kammy used to think was, "What did I say last night?" Now it's, "Am I going to be able to say anything today?" Somewhere between brain and mouth, the Kammy that everyone knows has been lost in translation. That's not great for Kammy. The voice is everything. For good or bad, mostly good, I hope. Millions of people know him the minute he opens his mouth. His voice is his trademark. Sounding like someone completely different is no use to him. He sees it as the death knell to the life he's come to love. If his voice isn't working, how can he carry on? Slowly, creepingly, apraxia, a rare neurological disorder, has arrived at Kammy's door. It doesn't only affect speech, it affects balance, dexterity, and strength. Away from the cameras, Kammy has been falling down a lot. He's changed the way he dresses so he doesn't have to deal with button-up shirts. His laces are so loose, a little kid might as well have tied them. He stopped eating things that mean having to unscrew lids off jars. To be honest, Kammy would live with the odd stumble, a bit of difficulty with a button for the rest of his days if it meant getting his voice back to normal. The voice would make everything fine again. Kammy, you might recall, was someone who used to talk at 1,000,000 miles an hour, pretty much saying whatever came into his head. In fact, until now, the only problem Kammy's ever had with his mouth is how often he'd put his foot in it. Then he became the complete opposite, clamming up because he couldn't keep up with the conversation, let alone add anything off the cuff. A bit of banter would be in his head, but by the time it reached the tip of his tongue, the moment had gone. It felt like he'd gone for a run with friends, only to find they were permanently 50 yards up the road. In the end, he'd just sit there and say nothing. The only conversation was with himself. How has this happened? What did I do? People are very nice. They say that 25% Kammy is good enough. But he doesn't want to be half, let alone a quarter of what he was. He wants to be the complete Kammy. That's why he's been ready.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?